Welcome back to this front porch makeover. Today I'm going to be talking about how I repainted these steps. So this is part 5 out of 6 of this front porch makeover. These steps had been previously painted with some kind of cement or maybe even epoxy based paint, but it just wasn't holding up. So the first step was pressure washing. This didn't do as much as I had hoped it would do, unfortunately. I spent quite a bit of time on it and I got a lot of dirt off, but the paint didn't really come off with it. So I opted to end up using a stripper later to get the paint off. This one is nice, it was sprayable, but I ended up just painting it on. I didn't have a garden sprayer that I could designate to just this chemical, so I didn't want to accidentally mix chemicals. It was super easy to use. I just brushed it on, used an old pickle jar to store it in. And you can see, even after just a couple of minutes, a wire brush took it right off. And I got them pretty clean. So I used this semi-transparent concrete stain foam Valspar. I had got it on a discount shelf, and so I wasn't afraid to just try it. It'd been sitting in my basement. I was excited to just use something I had. And it took quite a bit of time. I did one coat at first, and I was disappointed with how it looked. It was pretty splotchy. You could see a lot of the old stains on the concrete showing through. So I went back to step 1 and restripped it, and I was really surprised at how easily this stain came off, which I think says something about how it didn't work for this project. Normally, stain will sink into the concrete and wouldn't come off this easily. You can see I'm like barely scraping. I had left the stripper on there for just a minute or two, and it came off very easily. This should not happen, which tells me one of two things. Either I didn't prep it correctly, I should have maybe used like some kind of muriatic acid to etch the cement, or there was previously painted or sealed stuff on the cement that didn't allow the concrete stain to sink in. So after a second time stripping, I got to here. After thinking about it more, I decided I didn't like the way that the black looked in addition to the splotchiness, so I decided to go a different route and do a two-tone. I painted the risers white and went and bought this epoxy floor covering to match the stripes above the door that are gray and white. I thought having the steps match that would be great. I chose color Foggy Morn and started painting. And when I started painting, it looked very blue. It was a very cool gray. And as I was trying to match the gray above the door, I didn't feel like this looked very good, so I went back and had it retinted to wet cement. This was a lot darker, warmer gray, and I think it matched the fresh step that I had just poured pretty well. As you can see, this project started without a step, ended with a step. I was so frustrated at how many times I had to strip this concrete that I took a break and poured this cement step in between painting the stairs and restripping them and repainting them. So this project took me a while to actually get it right to the way I wanted, but in the end I was pretty happy with the results. I just used a small angled brush to paint this on. I really liked the consistency of this epoxy paint. It wasn't gooey or goopy in any way. It went on really smoothly, and it's water-based, so it's nice to clean up. And this is how they turned out. I love the color, and I love how everything looks so clean and crisp. Next, I'm going to be showing the final part of the video where I show the faux flower arch above the door. So drop any questions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to see more DIY.